Hi and welcome to Medicine Past, Present and Future. My name's Dr. Nick and I'm the past.
And my name's Dr. Isabel and I'm the future.
And together we're the present.
So, Dr. Nick, today we're talking about a topic that can make most fathers and daughters a bit uncomfortable to discuss, but it's really important.
Are you talking about my taste in shirts again? I mean, I told you could choose.
No, you've done well with that today, Dr. Nick. We're talking about contraception, what it is, how long it's been around for, and all the different types.
And you're right, it can be an awkward conversation, but it's one I have every day with patients. I presume you do too.
Yeah, absolutely. And luckily, these days we have a few more options than we're used to. But Dr. Nick, why don't you take us through some of the ancient remedies for contraception?
Well, I don't know how effective they were, but there are old Egyptian scrolls which describe a mixture of lint, honey and acacia leaves that women used as a barrier method. And the plant Queen Anne's lace was commonly used in ancient Egypt to stop pregnancy.
Oh, it's still used today, isn't
That's
it?
right. And of course, versions of condoms or sheaths have been around since the Renaissance. So, Dr. Isabel, if we think about the types of contraceptive options, how many different ones do you reckon we've got these days?
I reckon there are about 9 different classes of contraception, and the important thing to remember is of those, only one type actually protects against sexually transmitted infections, and that's the barrier method.
Yeah, and that's male and female condoms because it provides a physical barrier between the genitals. But what about the other 8 classes, Dr. Isabel? We don't have time to talk about all of them, so maybe just pick a couple.
So we should probably talk about the most popular one then, Dr. Nick, which is the pill, also known as the combined hormonal contraceptive. That contains 2 different types of hormones, estrogen and progesterone, and it needs to be taken every day.
And the most common brands are packed with 21 active pills and 7 inactive pills, which are sometimes called sugar pills, even though there's actually no sugar in them at all. And it's during the inactive pill week that women have a bit of bleeding.
Now, one of the things that really frustrates me, Dr. Nick, is the pill was designed by men who thought that women wouldn't be happy unless they had a bleed every month.
And it's actually perfectly okay to run a couple of packs together and stay on the hormones.
Some women do prefer it, however, because some people get more side effects with the pill, and so having that time off can reduce things like bloating and spotting. And other women quite like the reassurance of having a bleed. However, there's no medical reason why you shouldn't run them together if you want to.
Now, the other form of hormonal contraception that's popular is progesterone-only types of pill, sometimes known as the mini pill, and it's frequently used when a woman is breastfeeding.
It's really good because it's a low-dose single hormone. There's also a longer-acting version called the Implanon, which takes the form of a rod. It's put under the skin, lasts for up to 3 years.
And that brings us very nicely to camels.
What?
Because legend has it that nomadic Arabs used to pop a couple of stones into the wombs of their camels to prevent them getting pregnant when they were on long journeys through the desert.
Dr. Nick, I can't imagine any self-respecting camel saying, yeah, go ahead, whack a stone into my uterus, no worries.
No, but it does bring us to what are known now as Iuds, or intrauterine devices. So, Dr. Isabel, what are those about?
Yeah, so they're a little bit more invasive to put in, but once they're in, they act really well. They last for up to 5 years, and they contain that hormone that we were talking about before, progesterone, which can also help with periods.
There are, of course, loads of other methods that we haven't mentioned, such as diaphragms, the Billings method, and then permanent methods such as sterilisation for women and vasectomy for men.
Finally, one for the guys.
Yes. Now, talking vasectomy, have I told you about when I was going to...
Dr. Nick, that is where I draw the line with this conversation. And moving right along, as my high school teacher said, hope is not a method. So make sure you have a chat with your GP or your doctor before you need contraception.